And I don't want to even make mention of like, hurting anybody's feelings or anything on a positive show, but I get in a cheerful way and in a non-aggressive way, we do have to acknowledge that apparently we did. Now we've hurt Chris Jericho's feelings when we critiqued the football field fuckery. I mean, the stadium stampede event. And I've known Chris for a long time, and I didn't know actually his feelings were that sensitive, but apparently, and I don't know much about this, is a late breaking story. I don't know much about this because I've been positively serving the fine Cornette's Collectibles customers over the last 24 hours or so, and I was only on Twitter briefly. I just saw the initial clip where but he said anybody that didn't like the stadium stampede match had no soul. Just no soul. Is that what he said?
That was part of what he said. He said,
I really didn't hear anymore.
I have some quotes here. Let me read this.
You are prepared here for this.
Oh, I figured this may come up. Yes.
Well, yeah, we're going to be positive.
And I don't think there's any reason not to be positive about this. We positively did not like that match, but let's get these quotes here. I'll tell you this right now. There's some people that are burying this match. Jim Cornette hated it. If you don't like this match, then you don't have a soul. Because this was one of the most entertaining things that you can see. And if you're talking about a Jim Cornette, he booked a segment where I put his face in cake in 1994. This is the 2020 version of sticking someone's face in a cake. This is the style of wrestling that I love. We have everything in there. If you didn't like it, if you didn't like that, then you don't like wrestling. Because this is what the essence of wrestling is, which is entertainment, but all sides of the coin. And I was very proud of it. And like I said, one of my favorite things I've ever done.
When your old friends suddenly lose their rabbit-ass minds, what do, Brian? Searching for a way to positively respond to the positively ridiculous idea that anything about that was the essence of wrestling. The people that I have heard from in a positive fashion, to go to the people that I've felt positively about, people are fucking saying, what the fuck? The same thing I said. I don't ever want to see wrestling anymore if this is what they've turned it into. The late night television, Benny Hill sketch. The fucking Friday. It's not even Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live did several wrestling sketches, and with stars in them, at least you had star power. More like Fridays when they did a wrestling sketch on ABC late nights. Look it up, folks. Google it. It didn't last long. But late night comedy show sketches about wrestling are what we've been reduced to. And the people that I hear from who apparently have no souls are offended because they actually have loved wrestling for a long time until it quit being fucking wrestling. So between Twitter and email and the folks that we have heard from on all forms of social media that have the comments on YouTube that have said, what the fuck? Just what the fuck? If it was South Park, they'd be, I mean, come on. This is not remotely anything to do with professional wrestling. They've completely lost the plot, and everybody thinks they're a fucking comedian now and an entertainer. That's the problem. If wrestling was always entertainment in the same way that football and boxing or UFC or fucking whatever the fuck, any sport is entertainment, but it doesn't have to be silly, stupid, and hokey. It doesn't have to be fake and contrived and phony and amateurish and juvenile. You don't have to make mockery of it and piss on it when people that, for all these years that did it right, fucking blazed a trail for you to come in and fucking vomit in its fucking face. So positively, I hate that we hurt Chris's feelings, but on the negative side, there are literally millions of soulless people out there. The zombie apocalypse has happened and we didn't know it. Apparently, your skin doesn't rot, but your soul is left because all the people we've heard have said this is why We can't watch this fucking shit now. We watched wrestling all our life. It's fucking offensive. It's a joke. It's just not even worth our fucking time because it's all just fucking silly. That's what they say, positively. But who are we? We have no souls.
Well, the funny thing, too, is everyone always says, well, Jim Cornette, if you don't like what he likes and what he thinks wrestling should be, then he castrates you. Then he goes after you. Meanwhile, Jericho's saying, if you didn't like it, you don't like wrestling. If you didn't like it, you don't have a soul. If I don't like your brand of comedy, I don't have a soul? Come on.
Most of it, and the problem is, once again, the people that like wrestling are the people that didn't like that. It's only the only people that liked that were the people that like what they have turned wrestling into. If you're never bothered to look up the tapes or weren't old enough to see it done properly or just don't give a shit. But for people who have liked wrestling, this is the exact thing that has driven them away from liking fucking wrestling because there ain't no wrestling anymore. It's a bunch of fucking jack-offs, fucking goddamn goof suits playing slap ass and tickle taint with their fucking friends. And there's no reason to watch it. But anyway.
It's an alternate version of Vince McMahon's style of wrestling, and I didn't like that, and I don't like that typically, and I don't like this. However, I love professional wrestling. Sorry, Chris, that doesn't fit your agenda. Sorry that you always have to latch on to anything that's happening and try to make it so that it's acceptable, or try to make it acceptable. This guy failed at comedy. Now he's telling me that I don't like his comedy match. I have no soul, and I don't like wrestling. Maybe you don't like wrestling, Chris. Maybe the problem is you've tried to branch out from wrestling and it's never worked, and now you're still doing wrestling, and you don't like wrestling for what it actually is. Maybe that's the problem.
Brian, we're not being positive.
I'm very positive. I'm very positive.
You're absolutely positive that you mean exactly what you just said.
I have not dropped the F word or anything else, but Chris Jericho's stuck in an endless midlife crisis. And because of that, everyone who doesn't like the comedy show he just did, and I think that was, what was that in the back of the car? The comedy bus. Is this like a comedy bus? The
comedy bus.
Your comedy bus sucks. I don't like it. I like professional wrestling. If you don't like this, you don't like wrestling. Get out of here. You don't like wrestling. You tried to make it in Hollywood. That didn't work. You tried to make it in comedy. That didn't work. Your band's a joke. You're back doing wrestling. And you just wish you could be an entertainer.
I really like Judas. After I heard that song, I really fucking like it.
I think it's a good tune except for his vocals. And I'm not even saying that it's Chris Jericho. He can't sing. He sounds like Chris Jericho singing. And it's a parody of hairband music. It's not good. It's not good. There's a reason why rock and roll's in the toilet, like wrestling's in the toilet.
But don't you remember that hot angle that drew that fucking mega fucking gate at the stadium at WrestleMania and on pay-per-view when they laid Stone Cold Steve Austin down and took a line marker on a football field and drew a line on him from his fucking balls to his fucking nose? Don't you remember that?
No, of course not. Of course not. And look, Chris Jericho, in his best moments, is an exceptional professional wrestler. He may not be able to cut it anymore physically in the ring, but he's an older guy. He's not physically where he was 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago.
Well, none of us are.
But I'm saying he gets, in his best moments, he gets how to present himself on TV, how to come across, but he also is just filled with stupid ideas and has obviously stupid defenses to justify him. This is the same guy that just got into a fight with a drone. So, I mean, give me a break.
I'm trying to find a comeback because I've always liked Chris, but he got in a fight and got mad at a drone, and he got the line drawn on him and everything. And this is what.
Yeah, you have liquid soul. I have soul. You have liquid soul. There's a big difference.
Does everybody wonder why I'm so disappointed in the whole wrestling business when people I've known this long and always enjoyed their work and them as people suddenly are out there fucking pulling their pants down and fucking, fucking squirting the goddamn ketchup out their ass on French fries? It's goddamn ludicrous. And that's why I'm so disappointed. That's why apparently I won't get my fucking fifth decade because right now I don't ever intend being on a fucking professional wrestling show again. It's goddamn embarrassing. You never know what to. 2 or 3 years ago, I was asking people, well, you're not going to book the Invisible Man. Everybody's serious, right? No dance routines. Well, if just those 2 questions right now would eliminate half the fucking companies on the planet. So it's disheartening. But I'm trying to be positive, Brian.
That's right. Technically, it is sports-based wrestling. If it's on a football field, I guess, right? Technically. Sports-based.